You could be doing anything right now, but you're watching this video, and I'm super grateful that you've given me your time and attention. So my intention is for you to receive something that's not just candy for your ears or candy for the soul, or hits that dopamine part of you. My intention is for this message to land deeply in you, to stir you at an emotional level so that you actually take action on some of these things, so that you begin to see yourself from a new light, or you begin to see your experiences or your circumstances from a new light. Because really where I'm coming from, guys and girls, souls, humans, why I made this channel is because I suffered for a long time, a really long time internally, completely disconnected from myself, riddled with self-doubt, low confidence, and I was trapped in this loop, and I had no light of my soul coming in, and it was all survival and material consciousness of just, oh, I'm this body, and I'm Sean, and I'm my history, and let's just do the best we can with this. Why I'm here making this video is to help you, if you're in any kind of place like that, to rise out of the root chakra, rise out of the basement of consciousness, right? That base level, and help you to get to that next level of your building, which allows you to see things from a completely different place, aka, yo, you're a limitless creator. And maybe you've heard that a million times. I remember watching videos and I'd be like, oh, here we go, another one of these. My intention here is that the words that I speak come from a place of truth, because it's now embodied. I really get at the deepest place of my core, hey, reality is a mirror for you. It is. Reality is a mirror of what is inside of you. And if you ask yourself, and maybe you've been on this path for a while, I know that I'm talking to a lot of old souls here. I know that. Fellow old soul. You may have asked yourself at different points, why am I here? What am I on this earth for? Why did I take this exploration? And what I've landed on for myself after a very big journey with all of this, it comes down to two core components. I'm here to know myself, and I'm here to create. There might be a lot of other minutiae and things that you can get mixed up in that are outside of this, but this, to me, it distilled is why I'm here. And I think a lot of us forget to ask, why am I here? Or when we do think of it and we do ask it, it brings up this anxiety of like, I don't know why I'm here, and I need to know, right? It's like this grasping energy of like, I need to know my purpose, and I need to figure out this problem that I think that I have where I don't have any direction. But when you start to tune into the frequency of this, I'm here to know myself. I'm here to create what's inside of me, what I'm inspired by, what is calling me to create, because that's who we are. And we've gotten so disconnected from that and pushed into the left side of our brain. So I'm here to deliver a transmission that is for all of us. And by the end of this video, you're gonna feel better than you did when you first started the video. So stay with it till the end. I promise that I'm gonna deliver on this, okay? So let's go here. I'm here to know myself. What does that mean? The way that you know yourself with whatever level of awareness that you're at, in large part comes from an egoic understanding. You know yourself from your history, right? What's happened to you, the ways that you've reacted in the past, the things that you have demonstrated, and that's part of the process. The transition that we're making for those who are watching this channel we're going to the next level of I'm here to create, which we're now jumping to this, but let's go back to this for a second. If you've known yourself by your past, right, where your past experiences jump into this now space of reality, and they inform the decisions that you're going to make, they inform the choices that you're going to make, and the way that you're seeing your circumstances. And that's why people loop, because the past keeps coming into the now and doing that without them realizing it. Or maybe they even, I realized it, but I was in a place of, I don't know how to stop it. And what I was missing in that equation, in that formula, was the creation piece, where it was like, okay, I'm making an old choice. I know that my past is informing my now, and how do I get out of this? But the question of how do I get out of this, then at a deeper level was saying, I have a problem here that I need to fix. And then the echo of I have a problem that I need to fix was playing itself out without me seeing it for what I was actually doing. When you start to know yourself beyond your old limitations and your egoic constructs, it's exciting. It's very exciting. Who am I beyond my old limitations? Who am I beyond these reactions and this anger that maybe I've had towards other people, or my family, or coworkers, or certain relationships that I've had or that I have? Who am I beyond this limitation around money and what I'm worthy of? Like there begins to build this curiosity of who am I beyond those old things? Instead of how do I fix this and there's something wrong with me and I'm not okay, that gets replaced by I'm freaking curious to know who I am beyond those things, beyond those stories that I used to tell myself. Like who is he beyond that? And that's where the energy starts to flow. That's where the attention starts to flow. When you're in survival, when you're in stress, when you're looking at your circumstances and you're like, I don't like this. You're used to knowing yourself through those experiences and circumstances. And we're conditioned to react to those in a certain way from the place of the ego, not a creator. So the energy that I really want to bring forth here is it's curiosity, right? Because we're evolving, right? We're going to that next level of the floor, which is, I was laughing about this recently. I had this thought, I was like, man, I for so long was like fixated on this money thing and this lack and this limitation. And I look at it now and I'm like, that's so basic. That's some basic shit to the soul. Like, it really is. And maybe that will land for some of you. Like, your focus has been pulled, your attention's been pulled to some low root chakra survival shit that's like kindergarten level for our spirit. And that, to me, if we can laugh at ourselves from that place, that takes the weight off this thing that we've been carrying for so long. Because you might say, Sean, you don't know my story. You don't know how much this has been a detriment in my life. What I've had to go through. I've lost my house. My children were affected. I hear all of that, and yet it's still the same. You're playing a very small game. A very small game, which is tied to your ego and knowing yourself as little me. And it doesn't matter how many books you've read, how much awareness you've cultivated with this stuff. What I'm talking about now, to me, is true mastery. It's recognizing that there's so much more to me. There's so much more to me, and I'm actually curious to unfold that and look at it and see myself beyond these things. Who is Sean without those limitations? Who's the being? And I say Sean, and I realize like that's just the label. But who is this being beyond that little bubble of like little me, right? And then you're doing this when you start to ask bigger questions. You start to be like, okay, how am I in service to the whole? What's my contribution to make on the planet? What's exciting to me? What makes me feel alive? Okay, I'm gonna start doing that, like actually doing it. And you'll find, because this channel is called Follow Your Path, when you start to follow your path, you got to look at the things that scare the shit out of you, because those are often the things that are calling you forward the most. When I first had the idea of doing YouTube videos, that freaked me out. Even just looking into a camera scared the hell out of me. I remember doing my first Facebook Live, and I had a coach, 7 years ago, and I was beginning this process. And even doing a Facebook Live, it was like I was stepping out into an auditorium in front of 1 million people. It scared the shit out of my body. And I was like, and I was stifled and I couldn't express myself. And I look back on that now and it's like, that was such a limited aspect of my expression. But I needed to go through that part so that I could eventually land here. And the beauty of that is I get to share this with you from a frequency of having moved through that, so you don't have to spin your tires in the way that I did for so long. And I can deliver that message through these words in a way that can maybe land really deeply for you, because I want you to know that you can really choose this thing now. You can really step into this and you can say, yo, this is where I'm going, and nothing's gonna stop me. That choice, with the conviction behind it, and you allow yourself to keep giving that to you of, hey, I'm excited to know myself beyond the old shit, and I'm here to create some epic stuff. I'm here to bring some dope-ass light to this earth that has a lot of darkness. And it starts with me. I bring that light to me. When those old triggers show up, when the old scenario that used to destroy me comes up or trigger my unworthiness or my doubt, I'm bringing some light to that, because nothing's going to stop me. I want to know myself beyond the unworthiness and the old basic shit of like, my confidence is low and I don't believe in myself. We can laugh at that, because again, it takes the weight off of it, and it also helps to tell our mind it's not a problem anymore. So knowing yourself, and you're here to create. Most people, they don't think about ever what they're here to create. They're thinking about what they want to avoid. Okay, I got these problems, I want to avoid this thing, and I just want to feel good. I just want to feel good. You're in the pleasure pain cycle, ping-ponging, and that's hell. Like what we want to get to here is a neutrality, which I resisted at one point because I was like, that sounds boring and not interesting and not exciting. And now what I'm finding is that neutrality and that peace. Maybe it's a good time to take a breath if you're watching. Just from that peacefulness, from that coherence, from that neutrality, births freedom, births expression. There's enjoyment that comes out of that. So the way that I was seeing neutrality before was distorted. And that was my ego's way to keep me kind of locked into the place that I had been in. So I wanted to know myself beyond those constrictions. I wanted to see what is it that I can create on this planet? What is it that I know I'm called to do? And making videos like this, sharing my life experiences in a way that's like coming from the depth of me and getting it onto video, I'm called to do it, and I know that, and I resisted it for a long time. I'm also called to things like improv comedy and being in the moment. I want to know myself in the moment and trust that whatever comes up and through me is life orchestrating itself through me. This is to go to that upper floor and knowing yourself. It's like you're popping out of the tiny little ego, and you're starting to get curious into your own grandness of what would it be like for life to move through this channel, to express itself through this channel, this vessel. That'd be kind of cool. I want to see what that's like. And in order to do that, as we know, we got to get out of our own heads, out of our own way. And if you've been in your own way for a long time, go back to the beginning of this video where I was talking about letting your past inform the now. You might have been doing it for 20 years. You might have been spinning your tires like me for a very long time, thinking that you're getting somewhere, and you're going nowhere. The dial is not moving, and it hurts to look at that. But it's equally powerful to see that you've been doing it so that you can land in here. Okay, I'm here to know myself beyond spinning the wheels, and I'm here to see what it's like to be in my full creator mode. because that's who you are, folks. And you know this. I'm just reminding you of these things. You're a creator. I create. I express. I create and I express. I don't stifle my energy. I don't tell myself a story of I have low confidence. I'm here to create and see what it's like to go beyond the old constraints that I had. This is a game that you're playing with yourself. And you want to have fun with it. You want to laugh at yourself. You want to have a beautiful relationship with you. You want to have an awesome inner narrative that's encouraging and is like a good parent. You want to get to a place where when that unworthiness shows itself on the screen of your now, you can just simply shake it off and you say, hello, no thank you. It's literally just like an option that pops up and you're just like, oh no, I don't choose that, no thanks. And then it goes away because you're anchored into this. I wanna know myself in worthiness, in full confidence, in full conviction. I'm curious about that because I've played the other game long enough. I got a lot from it because it helped me to get here, but now I'm at this part of the journey. And I know many of you watching, that's where you're at too. We're all in this together and it's fun. It's like, look at everything that's breaking down out there. It's all leading us to this brand new reality that's not being hung up by this house of cards anymore. That was a freaking illusion that needed you to think that you were little version of you, living in a material world like a material girl, and keep you as a consumer. The last thing that old construct wanted was for you to be a creator and know yourself as a creator. I'm not demonizing it. This is all part of the game. We needed to play that out, and now we're jumping to the next level. And freedom to be, freedom to create. You get to give that to yourself right now, and then guess what? The outer world's gonna be a mirror for that. So yeah, be ready for a lot of, let's say, chaos, disorder, tumultuousness going on out there, and maybe even within yourself too. I don't know how far along you are in your process, but I know for me, I'm very clearly seeing this for what it is, and it's cause for celebration. And yes, I know there's devastating things happening in a lot of different places on the planet right now, and I hold that with love, but I also hold it with a knowingness of like, here we go, guys, human family, we're taking off. The time is here. It's no more like, oh, the golden age is coming somewhere down the line. We're seeing the end of the old construct, and that to me is very exciting, and I know is a big reason of why my soul chose to be here at this time. So then it's like, oh, what do I want to contribute to this? Oh, how can I be an anchor for this light and this new frequency that is coming onto the planet that's going to shift everything from what we've known? That's very exciting to me. And even just offering that question, like, hey, I'm here to serve, life come through me. I have a beautiful, colorful channel that wants to express lots of cool stuff. I'm here to anchor in this light. Show me how to be of service. And then let it go and surrender to that. This channel is going to be a lot of what I've just been talking about. I'm going to be sharing experiences that I've had that help you relate and anchor it for yourself. And again, my intention is for this to be an activation that lands in your heart, because if it just lands in the mind, guys, it's not doing much. Like, if you're just popping to the next video and then the next video, I see you, I do it too, and it's great. There's so many great creators out there, but I will say, nobody does it like I do. Nobody delivers this message in the way that I can. And that's not from an ego place. It's just from a place of knowing myself and my uniqueness. There's nobody else that can deliver this in this way. Before, when I would do it, and maybe you can recognize it, like if you go back into other videos, there was layers. Like there's pieces that are coming off, like as we continue to create, feel safer and more comfortable. That's part of it. But I want to say that you can make big leaps very quickly in this energy that's going on, especially for the old soul. This is a really special time. It really is. And I know that you've suffered for a long time. I know that you've been feeling tired and feeling like, at times, get me the fuck out of here. I don't want to play this game. I know what that's like very deeply. And I am here to tell you that what's coming, what's inside of you now, what's opening and emerging is greater than what you could have ever imagined. And this is your time. This is your time to thrive. This is your time to engage, to activate that light in you and see who you are beyond the heaviness of the past, when you were steeped in a density that was very challenging for an old soul to live in, for someone who had that higher awareness. You can't see it right now. I'm looking at a picture of Yeshua, and holy shit, I can't even imagine what a being of his caliber and his vibration to exist during a time like that was so dense, way more dense than what we see today, like infinitely more so. What he must have had to feel and what he had to go through to be that kind of a light at such a dark time. Very inspiring, very like, whoa. And now we're all pieces of this consciousness that's emerging through the heart, coming up out of the root chakra, out of survivalism, and we all get to do this together. We all get to shine like Yeshua did and be examples in that way, which is amazing because you can't snuff out that many lights in the dark now. It's just like all over the place. You can't stop it. It's happening. And the old is just doing what it's gonna do. It fights to survive. That's a function of itself. It can't do anything but that. So it's like, I get it. I understand. There's no hate or animosity towards that. It's just like, it's more of like a, okay, your time's over. It's time for this new energy to come in now. Like, it's okay. We're like, goodbye. We're alchemizing that. So, I hope that this landed. And I know it's nighttime here in Montana, so the lighting's a little bit off. But you gotta make videos when you're inspired to make them. And I spent a lot of time not acting on the inspiration, and I promise to my soul that I have to do that. I'm going to act on that divine inspiration when it shows up to create. And I hope that you do as well, because you're going to be amazed with what comes out. So I love y'all, for real. I said y'all, for real. I'm so glad that you're here. Thank you. We're going on a journey together, and I'm so psyched to be on this ride with you. And if you resonate with this, my coaching and mentorship right now it's one of my favorite ways to give back. It's one of my passions to work with people in this way, so that our channels can come together and it's like, all right, what's here? Let's do this. Let's take that ride. Let's really go here. There's nothing more that I enjoy than that. So the intimacy of it, creating that connection, helping you get to that place that you know you're meant to go. Not supposed to, you're meant to go. It's already there, it's in you. And it's just looking to be unfolded. So I love helping other souls do that. And that's a big part of why I'm here during this time. So if you're feeling called to it and you want to work together, I have a couple slots that are opening because it does require a lot of energy, and I can't do that with a lot of people. So if this speaks to you in any way, let's have a conversation, because that window will be probably closing in the next month of October. So much peace and blessings to you. As I always like to end my podcast, which have now turned more into this, which I will convert into podcasts. Peace within is peace without. I'll see you next time.